morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy hump day, everyone. Here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame. This is what we're focused on right there. Very narrow multi-day range. That's a 7-day compression that's developing right there. Very narrow 7-day range. You can see it down here. It is compressed at 54% of average. Just 157 points built up in that range right here. And normally we'd be trading somewhere around 280 points on the same amount of days there. So you can see the last time we had something that compressed was right back here. And we had that 1-day breakout and a nice little steady continuation. But we didn't really elongate as much as we could have there because we went into another range-bound phase here. Now, the next pop could lead to a continuation into the all-time highs. So we're watching this compression right here. You can see again up here at the top, 350 points would be an easy 125-point target. 125% target there. So 350 points. Whenever we're ready to see a breakout from this 7-day range, we could be looking at 350 points of movement. If it's down first, say it goes down to 58 and rallies, then 350 points up takes you to 6150. Something like that could be in play up ahead. It could look something like this, could look something like this, or perhaps we even just break straight up to the upside like this. Depends on how the market's going to play out here. But overall, still phasing higher here, still melting up heading into the holiday extended weekend, and still working higher toward the previous all-time highs here, the previous quarter's high right there. So looking for a continuation up, big time buildup of energy here, 7-day compression. From an intraday perspective, this is the range. This is the range. After the early bit of weakness here, we could work our way higher and ultimately end the day back at 59.90 or somewhere in that zone. If we did, we'd look a day like this or like that, or maybe even like that, where you start down, finish higher with a bit of a bullish body there. So we could be looking at a push higher within the range, but staying mostly within the range heading into the rest of the day. Again, just building that energy until this thing is ready for expansion. Looking at the NQ. NQ is also compressed right here for the day and also for the last several days. This has a very clear 6-day compression. We can make it 7 days here as well. But even if we break it down to the most narrow 6-day range here, you can see a lot of stocks are mirroring this price action here, from the biggest stocks like Nvidia to everyday stock like Carvana. These stocks are all kind of compressing here at these highs after a pretty bullish reversal, and we could be looking at the next push to the upside once this energy is released. So again, this compression here on a 6-day range basis, you're looking at 1,400 points easy, 1,400 points of range up ahead. So if we drop and rally, you're looking for a 1,400 point rally off those lows at the very least, as the price continues to work higher toward the previous quarter's highs. Looking at crude oil, this one's up 1.4% right now. This one's been stuck between the 54 and 64 market structure level there. You can see we hit 64s this morning, got as high as 64.19, and are starting to put in a little bit of a rejection. Now this happened in after hours trading yesterday, where price pushed very strongly to the upside right after hours, hit prices at 64, and immediately put in a strong reversal and a strong top. We've been down ever since. So again, this really goes to prove how tremendous that 64 is in terms of resistance. It's been clear resistance for a good long while. 54 is the other side here. 74 is the next level up. So what I've been mentioning this entire time is, as soon as we can push through 64, it's going to open up the next 8 to 10 points of rally into 72 to 74. But shy of breaking through 64 keeps you in this lower trading range between 54 and 64. So if we're putting in a decent high here today, does that rotate us back down within the range, back toward 58 or even lower? or can we finally push through that pivot high and open up some upside down the road? So 64 is the key level to continue to watch here in crude oil. Looking at gold futures, gold up about 0.3% at the moment. This one had a really bullish session the previous day. We talked about this day right there being a strong low, especially a great strong low with a great lower trend line. The previous session here, outside day up with a great squeeze, stop run day to the upside today. So far, digestive day at the moment. We are turning down off the highs of the day right now, but still a digestive day with an upward bias. Currently pulling back to begin the day here, but for the most part, any pullback, even as deep as 32.60, that could still be a buying opportunity short term to see if this thing can lift a little bit. But after putting in the strong low and turning up here, we could build a little bit and then start to work higher toward the upper end of this range. 3,400 to 3,450 would be a good short-term swing target. And then we got to see, do we push through those highs or do we turn back down for another rotation within the developing trading range? So gold right now pulling back a little bit here off the highs, but still kind of a digestive day with an upward flow at the moment. Looking at the YM, this one's down 0.8% at the moment. Narrow range developing here as well. We can put this thing on even more than 6 or 7. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can go 8 days. 8 days on this range right now for the YM, and it's going to give us north of 2,000 points of expected range right there. By the way, on an 8-day basis, we are 70% compressed right now, so not even 65, but it's still very, very compressed nonetheless. If we are to see a breakout, 2,200 points seems really easy right now, but based off of recent price action here, we'll see what we get. But man, if this thing can get a 2-week breakout, that'd be pretty solid. But at the moment, still in the range. Again, like the other markets here, we've been seeing overnight and pre-market weakness. We find a morning low, we kind of bounce back a little bit, close the thing back, near the open of the day or something like this, and we're still in the range. We've still moved from point A to B, but we're still kind of chopping wood here, sideways, building that energy ahead of the next expansive phase. Like we said with the other ones, if we did get a false breakout or breakdown here, that failed breakdown can lead to a great squeeze, trap and reverse type of opportunity. All right, looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now down 0.4%, but hit new highs here today, this morning, overnight here. We've rallied and got a high at 108,345, so 108 here. This has been a tremendous bounce from our 74-75 zone. We talked about that zone to begin the year. To begin the year, we mentioned 75 to 80 would be the best zone to watch for an entry. We further refined that into a 74 to 75 entry zone here, and so far, tremendous responsive rally here off that move. Great lower low failure, tremendous trap and reverse at the quarterly low, at the 200-day moving average, and we have since pushed back to the mid and through the mid to open up a potential outside quarter. I say potential here because we're still working toward it, but for all intents and purposes, very, very likely to get that outside quarter here today. Can we hang on and push higher, or once we reach a new high, are we going to find another bit of toppiness? Do we find that high and rotate back toward 90? That could certainly be in play. That could certainly be in play. This thing rotates back toward 90. We pop back to the upside and maybe stay in this range. Because quite frankly, we've had a big time move. Major distance between 74.6 and the 108.3 that we've seen here. Major distance in a short amount of time. Do we build out some energy here for a little while, or do we attack the 110? So keeping an eye on this 110 level. Once we reach that level, that's where decision point could be seen here. Do we, again, turn down for 20,000 points or so, or do we start to try and chisel through 110 and open up the upper levels. So big time level coming up here very soon for Bitcoin at 110. Ethereum with a great bounce off 1400. We mentioned before that somewhere in the 2100 level would be a great opportunity for a defense. But when we got to that level at the time of the year, was very bearish, did not look good. Held off. And then we looked at 1400 as the prime opportunity, significant CLVN in the volume profile. And if it were to test that level, it would have the highest odds for a double back at 2 market structure distributions up at 2800. And since that day, we have nearly doubled, getting to 2757 last week, and 2800 is just around the corner here from a 1400. So Ethereum nearly doubling here in less than 2 months. That's tremendous. We mentioned from 1400 not only could we double, but we may see this thing triple into 4200 down the road off that 1400 level. So big time movement. Right now also a compression here at the highs. This is an 8-day compression as well. Last time over here we had, what was that, like a 10 or 11-day compression, and we were looking for a breakout move into about 23 to 2400, and 2 days later we hit 2500. So massive move, and then a continuation. Nice compression here and a buildup of energy with an upward bias that still could be released up ahead. So very good energy here. Now that's a big wide compression compared to this tinier compression back here. I don't know if we should be expecting 1,000 points up ahead in terms of expected range, but we could certainly see, you know, 600-700 points. So this is a big time compression, still an upward bias, plenty of upside that could be seen, especially through 2800. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.